Welcome back everyone, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. Okay, we're going to be continuing this little stream series around creating a script that turns Ubuntu Server for the Raspberry Pi into a desktop operating system. So let's just switch down to here. This is what we're doing. So on the Ubuntu website, you will find this page, Download Raspberry Pi. And you can download a full-blooded Ubuntu server for the Raspberry 2, 3 and 4. So what this little project called, which is called Desktopify, which you can find on GitHub, what this aims to do is to run on one of those images. So you put that image on your Pi, boot it up, run this, and this will turn it into one of the Ubuntu desktop flavors. And so far this is what we've got through on the completed list here. So we've got Bluetooth working, we've put some guardrails in place to make sure you're running on a Raspberry Pi, the right version of Ubuntu, got the network set up correctly, and all of the Ubuntu flavors are an install option, or at least we hope so. So whilst this was running, while I was preparing for this stream, I got this running. Oh, it's finished. So I started using this script to do an install of Xubuntu. So let's see if this works. So we'll get the second keyboard again. So let's just take a look at what we've got here. I've got main keyboard for the actual computer, secondary wireless USB keyboard, which I've just turned on, which is connected to the Raspberry Pi via that dongle there, and second mouse I'll also turn on, and that is for the Pi as well. And then this, and then these cards here I've flashed with various versions of Ubuntu Server, 32-bit and 64-bit ARM. That one is my Ubuntu MATE image, and there's a new one just finished. So we'll give this one a reboot and see if it comes up with a desktop. Might do. So we'll just let that boot up. We'll see if we get anything good whilst that's booting. Hello John, hello Andy, hello Bacon Drinker, Broken, hello, Monica, welcome back, hello Dan, Craig, hello, welcome to the stream, hello Michael, and that's everyone. And Mayor, welcome. Glad you've been enjoying these little streams. So this evening, after we test this, let's see if we get a desktop here. Hopefully this will be one of the flavors. Check that out. There we go. This would be first person to type in chat with the right answer gets a prize. Right, can I remember my password? Yeah. So this is Ubuntu, and there's their network thing, and that appears to be working. It can see the wireless access points on this VLAN in the socket behind me. I mean, I'm going to say that that's working, not knowing one way or the other if it's working or not. I don't know, but that appears to have done the right thing. That looks like a functioning Xubuntu. And what I just want to do here is we're going to do a uname -m for machine. That's running on the 64-bit version. And what we're doing here, we've used about 600 meg. I mean, this isn't a very scientific test because it doesn't take buffers into account, but there we go. That seems to be working just fine. So Yeah, Michael was the first to get the right answer there. It was indeed Xubuntu. Right then, so I've got a couple of things I want to work on. So let's just flip over to the... Let's drag a few bits in we're going to need. We're going to need our code editor. And we're going to need it cracked. Also, we may as well... Yeah, get up. I can just play with Windows. Right. That'll need about there. And here's code and here somewhere. Let's get rid of that. Right, let's go. So, there's a few things I want to work through, and I've put them in the let's just get. So I've got a couple of things to add to the to-do list. So let's just get those staged and. Those up. Now, we noticed earlier that Diddledan, who's in the chat, hello Diddledan, it's lovely to see you. He has been working on a PR that adds a shell check to pull requests. So I had a look at this earlier. It looks like it's going to work, but what do I know? I've never used GitHub Actions before. So we'll do a squasher merge because there was 2 commits, and we'll just squish those down to 1 because the second one was a correction. So we'll get that merged. Hopefully there are now no more outstanding pull requests. So the idea is now that if somebody submits a PR to the project, it will automatically pass through shellcheck as sort of part of the validation. So what I will do is the change that I make next, I'll submit as a pull request, and we'll see if that works or not. And on my to-do list, I just noticed when I was installing Xubuntu that I'd added a dependency or a requirement on deep architecture, and that's not installed in server by default, so I'm just going to change that so I don't need to pull in an additional package to install the system. So up here somewhere we have this goes up. So we'll now change that to that, and we'll change this to if host arch equals. I think that was the right one. Where's my capture stage? There we go. So we'll shut this one down. Oh, how'd you do that? I'm all at sea. Don't actually know how to drive XFCE. There we go. So we'll just shut this one down. Okay, that one's off. Well, let's see what I'm doing down here. So we'll just yank the power out of this. We'll pull the SD card out. That's our Xubuntu one. We'll just put that to one side. This hopefully is our Ubuntu MATE one that we've been working on. Gosh, the Raspberry Pi is hot. I think it might need to put this in a case soon for safety's sake. Apart from anything else, someone's going to get burnt fingers by somebody. I mean me. Right, so that should be booting back up again. So let's just see. Oh, So, just wanted to double check something because I can't actually remember what architecture uname -m. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, maybe we have to. Might want to. Oh, get the water as well. Whilst that's booting up, let's just flip back to chat. So, have we got any new joiners? Hello, Bill. Lovely to have you back here again. Hello, Coranzin Gamer. Welcome back. Hello, Troy. Welcome to the stream. Right. I think I've read everything I need to see there. So let's just go and have a look. So here we go. Let's get logged in. Oh, use the right password, shall we? Right, okay. I'm checking the architecture. This logs it. Performance is not too shabby, really, on this i4. Up. Ooh, expecting that. Okay, ARM v7L. All right then. So let's learn from our mistakes. Put that keyboard just there. Just to so that's just changed that little bit of behavior there to not require DAG architecture, because it requires quite a large package full of like Perl dependencies and what have you, so we'll put that there. And now we'll just look at correct. Right then, that's that done. Okay, right then. Golden now. Oh, I should. Right. So the actual thing I want to focus on now is optimizing for what it's worth the window manager, the Ubuntu MATE. So I've got some notes. I've obviously been here before because I built a load of scripts that actually create a Raspberry Pi image based on Ubuntu from the ground up. They're bootstrapped and a whole bunch of other things. So I went hunting around in there and I found how I'd done this before. So I think what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit of we'll add a new function down here. All of this can get tidied away. We'll add what should we call this? We'll create our first function, our second function in actual fact. So we'll do a little if so just say if we're using Ubuntu MATE, then we're going to do some things. We're not going to do any things. And the thing we'll do is we'll grab another one of these here docs. Let's take that as an example. And from my notes, the file that we're going to modify is a G setting override. And what we're going to do is turn off all of the compositing. Like that. And then we will need to run gdib compile schemas. Okay. Recompile the schemas. So pop that down there. And I think that should do it. So we'll I'll need to clear my keys. Let's just see that I log in okay. Yep, that's good. Okay, right. Let's just take a quick look in chat before I head into the thing there. So what have we got? Dan's wandering off to find cake. Wise. Wise indeed. Right. Does uname change when you boot a 32 or 64-bit kernel? Yes, it does. So it's AArch64 on the 4-bit V7L 32. Somebody's demonstrating that. John the Unwise Geek is demonstrating that in chat. Yeah, I did consider writing this in Python, but I think shell's a bit more accessible for most people, and all we're doing is just running a bunch of commands anyway, so Python feels like overkill. What's this? Okay, somebody doesn't like VS Code in JetBrains, but the indentation in this bit of code is deliberately wrong because it's a here doc. So I think what somebody's pointing out is that this here is not indented, and that's intentional because I want this to be written like that in the file that I'm putting it in. So that unindented stuff there is by design. That one isn't. Okay, next. Right then, that's over. So let's go back to here and we'll run the script thing. Not be more complicated for cameras to optimize. Right, so we'll run that with DE Ubuntu MATE. Now, this reminds me of something else that's not right. We should probably put something in to check that the meta package we're requesting is already installed. Because this is unnecessary. This is already there, so why would we rev through that again? So that has apparently worked. Schemas. So we should see an override file right now. So, good. Scroll up here and see an override file. Open this one. Gosh, that's a lot of stuff. There we go. 50 Ubuntu MATE Raspberry tweaks. So we've put the 50 there, so it comes after this one that says 30, which is the standard set of overrides for Ubuntu MATE, and this will then supersede any of those that might be in there and hope that they work. So I think if we restart, that comes back. It should come back without a desktop. Right then. Yes, nice big fonts. There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom, Dan says in chat. I don't know what that's in relation to. Is there some world event that I'm not aware of? ABD, my goodness, 18896 says, is there going to be an unattended installation? How can we do something like that? Well, this script runs on the pre-install image, so you... At some point when this is a bit more finished, I'll do a video that explains how to use it. But the idea is that you put the pre-install image, you run this script and you just tell it what desktop environment you want and it will do everything else for you. So I wonder if this is going to be correct. So let's bring up a window, and I don't. So this has worked. I don't see any shadows beneath the terminal window there. So that is indeed a what's the right word? Uncomposited desktop. So and when I minimize this, yeah, you notice there was no animation at all. And if I start File Manager, a tab between them, I get the old uncomposited non-OSD window. So there we go. It's not as attractive, but it is faster, and that's probably what people want on a Raspberry Pi. So that is done, and that's a demonstration of how, or a reference bit of code there that the other flavors can use, or embed conditionals. So that's taken care of. I'll just flip back to the app. Let's see what's going on. So I like big fonts, and I cannot lie. Very good, Bill. Oh, it's a Bugs Bunny reference. The big earth-shattering kaboom. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen Bugs Bunny. Shame, really. Right then. So let's consider that bit done. What we'll do. I think what we'll do is we'll be keyboard to one side again. Right. Optimize. I'll make that clear what that is, because I haven't obviously optimized the window manager for everybody. I don't even know what facilities exist in the other desktop. I know what some of the tweaks might be in Ubuntu for MATE, but okay, so that's done. Let's go back to here. So our changes are to add that. Let's stage that one, and that's our doc change. So we'll stage that. I'll say. There we go. Disable compositing in Marco by default. We'll save that. Bother. Okay, I'm just going to push that. I've just remembered I need to press Dan's pull request thing. So let's do that. Let's create a branch here. And we'll call this network manager. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is simply take all of this network stuff that we did here. Oh, what have I missed here? What have I overlooked? Ah. Of that. I pointed out indented a here doc, which is a bad idea. So that's that. So I've just moved that into its own bit of code. So now let's go back to this at technically not the best of refactored, but there we go. And I can't remember how to do this. There's something in here that enables me to create a pull request. Oh, here we go. I'm going to do it from there. There we go. Right. Oh. As you can tell, not a feature I use very often. Right then. I haven't set any reviewers up in the project. Okay. Let's create a pull request. Okay. let's go and look at got a PR in here. Dan's thing doing stuff. Look at that, it's doing stuff. Never seen these before. Right, I've just moved back to chat whilst that's running and catch up with what's going. Oh, didn't like that. Because oh, it's actually giving some output. But, oh, is this basically it has run? It's just failed because it's found issues. Possible misspelling. What? That's going to be annoying if I have to go through and spend ages configuring that. But anyway. I'll move back to chat. Some words to say about this. Right then. Very good, Trooper. Welcome to the stream. Right then. Yes, I love Gitkraken moniker. It's fabulous. Hi, Kiro. Welcome to the stream. No, it's not you, Dan. I think it's so Dan is just commenting in chat there. I think the test works. I think the issue is it's saying that the PER has failed review because there are things that need improving. So that's something that we need to deal with. The question is, are they actually errors? Because it's one of them was, this may be a misspelling, and I'm like, well, what if it's not a misspelling? So it's just I look at this in go here. So he didn't like this. So if I look here now, I get a slightly, don't get a very big view raw logs. That's what we. Vote this. No, that's. I think shellcheck maybe miss. So what's this one here? Open inappropriate. So it's saying is pi appears unused, verify it or export it. Okay. Check the exit code. Correct. I'm not sure I want to do that either. This is telling me these are errors. I'm not sure I agree. Useless cat. No, we worked out that that was actually correct. I'll modify that file. Type it. Double quote. That's fair. That one's legit. On line 144. Okay. Let's go and fix that one. That's a legit fix. So let's see what else we've got here we can definitely fix. So it says possible misspelling. Oh, you're dead right. There is a possible misspelling. Check that out. It's right. Crikey. That one. Right, what else have we got here? That appears to be the end of it. Okay, so what's this saying here? Saying check command itself. So line 70. Okay. So it wants me to do that. Is that what it wants me to do? Not inside these though. Hate the look of that. That's hideous. Is that surely? I'm not going to change that for now, because actually this bit of code I was thinking of refactoring anyway, because we're actually looking in the same place a couple of times, and we'll probably simplify that. Let's just have a look at that, because I'm sure people are looking at these logs as well, and let's have a look. Can just redirect. We tried redirecting that code earlier, and it's a read-only file, which was why it was catted and then piped. We can't pipe into that file because it's sorry, we can't redirect into the file. No, I'm not using his pi variable, Stuart. Hello, Stuart, by the way. Welcome to the stream. It's just there to catch to basically swallow the output of that command. So I just have the return code to evaluate rather than see what it actually. typo have we? What's the difference between paid and free? So Big Pod is asking, what's the difference between paid and free Gitkraken? The only thing that I've found it useful for is that it can access private repository, private Git. And it does all of that fancy schmancy integration with GitHub and GitLab, and as in you can hook up teams and projects and just extend its functionality. Redirect from Martin, yes. So Bacon Drinker says is only on the water tonight. That's because all we have. Yeah. Yeah, I could, Stuart saying, if I want to swallow the output, I could redirect to dev null. And don't stash it in a variable you never use. Yep, I do that too. It's, another thing you can do. This is the thing with shell. There's lots of ways to achieve things. Hello, Johnny. Welcome to the stream. Right. Let's just go back here. This is, it's just wrong. What's this one? Quote this to prevent word split. So that's me embedding a command in the thing. So maybe that's the one to actually start with. Doing it and to do what it was testing it preferred. This one here. So this is what it wanted. Just that. No, I need to evaluate that. That is not a return code that I want there. That is actually making sure that that thing actually is 0. That ID minus U is 0. And I can't quote this. Don't think. Can you do that? You can. Let's find out. I think I'm about to learn. I've never actually tried that. In fact, so this should fail. Yeah, except that now. So what is it asking? That then? It's more like it. Right, okay, well that appears to work. So that's that one as well. Interesting. Doing that before. Okay. So what was that one? That was so there's that one. I'm only doing this because somebody said I should actually go through it and try and fix them. So what have we got left? This and this are essentially the same issue. Ah. Is that what it's suggesting? I run the command like that. Let's just exit. Yeah. Right. That's going to fail. So let's run it with root. Great. See the chat going. I'm just trying to let's if this is not the sort of okay no, either, so let's so okay. Right, okay, so I see what Stuart is referring to with regards to TR. Okay, fine. Understand what you're getting at there, Stuart. I can make that change in a minute. GJG, hello, welcome to the stream. Yes, and shellcheck thinks I'm wrong, but I think shellcheck is overcomplicating the situation. Alright, we've dealt with the ID stuff. Yeah, we've dealt with that one. Right, okay. Let me just... So I'm just looking at Stuart's comment there. So let's just go back to... why doesn't it bring it to the... oh. I'm in the wrong thing. There we go. Stuart is suggesting that I don't need to invoke it. I can just say if... Really? It's a thing, is it? Hang on. Oh. I think that we may have made the barrier of entry for people a little higher than it needs, because they're going to get their PRs red flagged for a lot of reasons now. So SCP that over, and let's go back in. This is not a Raspberry Pi. Fortunately, it is. If that not what we want, I think. Didn't I just see that go by? Yeah, that's what. So I don't like having this raw stuff here. I think it looks hideous. And then we do that. Let's just see what it makes with that. Right. I think Andy Hazen was also pointing out that needed to be gated. Evaluate. Right. With that and give it another go. No. Right. Okay. That's what it wanted. I don't like that, but okay. Right. So yeah, this was asking to fix. Both of those are being fixed. And this other one. Right, okay, let's push that. I think that's all of them, right? Okay. Pull request again. All checks failed. That from the prior run. Oh, it's that one. Okay, right. Okay, fine. Right. That's the suggestion. Yeah, okay. So right then, that should work. Copy that over. Well, this was something I didn't expect to be doing this evening. To say, SSH there. Run the script. It should all just. Well, in fact, if I just don't provide anything, it fails. That's good. Failed to provide a desktop environment, and that's fine because it got through that piece there. Output configuring your Raspberry Pi. There it is. So that worked. Okay, so let's just put that. Go. Right then, that's the last of the play. Oh man, oh what? Right, okay, Dan, that's your PR. You can fix that. Okay then, let's just go back to the chat. So, well, those following along there, that was fun. Yes. So I think what I want to do now is there was a bit of code in there that I actually wanted to refactor anyway because I wasn't happy with all of the it's this stuff here. Look, we've got this where we're getting the Raspberry Pi model already. I don't really need to be doing this check and this. I should be able to just get that. I should first be able to do if that exists. Then we need to do that and oh, let's do string in string. I wonder if proc device tree model is other system. So the other place this exists is at CPU info. I'm still not happy with this test is right. Or rather robust is, yeah. Then we don't need to worry about that. Oh. Right then, how are we feeling about that? So Stuart says proc device tree model doesn't exist on other systems. Yeah, I'm just a bit concerned that this may exist on other SBCs. I mean, I don't know for sure. You could well be right, but I'm trying to come up with a way here that I can be satisfied that this is not going to have a condition in it that might be satisfied elsewhere. And I think this is it now, right? So we're now pulling the model out of CPU info. We're checking to see if that is Raspberry Pi, has the string Raspberry Pi in it, and if it does, then we consider this to be a Raspberry Pi. So let's copy that over. Oh. There's somebody asking a question in German, and sadly I don't speak German. Only on ARM things, yeah, which is where this script is intended to run. So I think we'll train that now. So get that password wrong again. Goodness me. Come on. There we go. That's working fine now. So now we've got a much simpler bit of code there. That's refactored down. So we're actually pulling out the Pi model, which we can use later. Use that if we need to do any conditionals based on the model of the Raspberry Pi. And that also is a clean rig. Right then, let's go and push that up to this as well. Right then, So I'm probably going to have to merge this despite the fact that something in the GitHub action is failing. Hopefully that all made sense, at least towards the end there. Let's go and have a look at pull request. Oh, there's another pull request here. Is this one from Refactor Network? Fix GitHub action. Okay, what have we got here then, Dan? Okay, good-o. Thank you for that. So, take that one. Go back here. Make this run again. How do I make action? Rerun job. There it is. Rerun all jobs. Right. Let's see how long that takes. Right, okay. That was fun then. What have we got here now then? So we've got a thing that passes shell check. We have a shell check Travis test, and we've got the no, try again, Dan. Right, I'm going to allow this this through while Dan works up some check stuff. I might just squash and merge this and this too. Right then. That is all in. Right, I was going to have a bash at getting the OEM config. So, this may need to be a separate option so that you can say, I don't just want to go through that setup and install, but on the next boot, I want to get presented with the ubiquity. Who are you? Where are you? What time is it? What's your username and password? So you create a user. And I think that is doable. But this has now been an hour and 15 minutes, and we spent a good chunk of it just playing with shell check. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll come back to that one next stream. Let's just see what was on the to-do list. Is there anything... quick. Yeah, it's the initial setup stuff. Well, let's have a go. Hard could it be? So we need to capture an option. So let's take that. OEM probably needs a better op. And we'll start up here with so function enable OEM So, oh goodness, come on, keys. Right, there we go. I've got some code here, so I believe we need to create a user. So I'm going to bring all of this code over. Done this before, and instead of being direct code, we can just make this specific to. A password is part of is okay. Back to that in a moment. So we're going to do that. We're going to add new user. So instead of new user, we can just get that bit. But this is only about so when you install Ubuntu in OEM mode, this is the user that gets created by the installer in order to facilitate all of that. So we're just creating that user account. And once we've created the user account, then we need to do all of this extra stuff. Now we've got some code here which will do. This will need refactoring slightly. So this is just doing what's required to sort of scaffold a ubiquity session. So instead of that, this is going to be if what was it? It was desktop. Okay, that's not. It's Xubuntu. That. This actually will need to be an elif now. No. Yeah. We'll account for this now. So Ubuntu uses Calamares, so I don't know that it has this facility. So we'll just do a pass there. In fact, pass. And then we'll have an else, which is all of the other things use GTK ubiquity. So that installs the necessary. Let's just change that to apt-get. And then we have if equals Ubuntu, then give it that. They're all lowercase. So if it's Ubuntu, then we install that. This is because Ubuntu Budgie and Ubuntu MATE and Ubuntu have OEM slideshows. So we're just trying to enable those. These all need apt-get tapped. Slideshow to use the Ubuntu artwork. Do that. There we go. Right, that in, and we'll just those bits back. Okay, that needs to be apt-get. All the bits are available. Right, okay. Hopefully people can catch up with yeah, people discussing the downsides of trying to test CI actions that are hosted by cloud provider, I think. Right, okay. I think that's good enough to test, so let's copy that over. And we'll run it and give it the DE Ubuntu MATE, which shouldn't do anything because it requires the OEM flag as well. Okay. So we'll do that. Let's log on to the right machine. Oh, it didn't like mine. Yeah. So we only want to do this stuff. What have I broken? Oh, introduced a right, let's handle slightly differently. It's not good. I've upset this somewhere. See it for look. Oh, let me change. Right, okay. I think that should do it. Right, okay, so hopefully that's all set up now. We'll run that. Yep. Okay. So, with a bit of luck, could do the install this. There we go. So that's installed the whois command, which we need to make password stuff. That's done a bunch of things. Okay. This could be a big fat mess. So we'll let that run. Let's just, whilst that's running, we'll just take a quick look at there. Right. Yeah, no emulator for GitHub Actions. That's a shame, isn't it? Yeah. Travis has a local runner that you can test with. Right, so Stuart suggests that I'm not using a variable, the date variable. So let's just go back and I thought I was using the date variable as salt in the password here. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Right, let's get off there. So Stuart has also pointed out that I so let me just finish testing it and then worry about that mess. Okay. This looks like it didn't work. So it installed the correct slideshow. It did OEM config service. Means they're not meant to be enabled via. Okay. But it did do what I wanted, so I think it might be okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll move to the this here, and we'll reboot and see if this Raspberry Pi actually puts itself into OEM config mode. What do you reckon? I reckon there's a 50% chance this is going to do the right thing. Welcome to the stream, Adam Grubbs and Steve. Hello, welcome. So let's take a 50-50, I reckon. Nice if it does work. It's a feature to carry through. We should probably enable the splash screen as well. That's something to do. That's okay. Moment of truth. Yep. Slick greeter. Hey, check it out. There we go. So we are in first run mode, so that worked. That's a glorious success. So let's see if this actually completes successfully. So that enables me to choose my language, my keyboard, and put the 2 characters in. You know, if they come up right, the rest of it's going to work. Yep, that's where I am. Right. I will my super secure test pass. So it's not showing. Oh no, it doesn't. And it looks like not quite showing the slideshow correctly. I wonder if that's because it's working hard or if those show up in a moment. Anyway, this is good. I wanted to be able to maintain this. Quite useful to be able to. What I was thinking, you see, is you could prepare an image in this state, and then you can make a copy of it, and then reproduce it in the future. Okay, so this is probably now chugging away. Oh, no such file. Can't open log. Okay. Looks like I might need to create some additional files there. I think I might be able. Okay, that's AD read-only. Fail. So syslog, if we to 6. OEM. Huh, that worked. So the password actually seems to work. I can elevate to root. Well, not perfect. Let's touch. Bit more work to do on this by the looks of it. Hello, Musical Coder. Nice to see you again. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. Right, so what we're currently doing is I was just seeing if we could add a flag to this little script to invoke the OEM configuration. And that kind of worked, except it didn't. There seems to be some permissions issues with files that the installer wants to get hold of. So let's have another go, see if it works. So let's. So we're back here again. Oh, right. So creating that debug file, it's moved on to configuring keyboard. So I wonder if it's going to get any further or if that syslog is going to persist. Let's see what it did with that. No. So it's just moved to the keyboard piece. That doesn't appear to be doing anything. right mouse. Ah, okay. It's rebuilding initial RAM disk. So actually it is doing a rather intensive thing, but it isn't displaying that that's the thing that it's doing in the install progress. Oh, now there we go. Now we can see it's moved. It is actually doing stuff. Okay. That's interesting. So that does appear to work. It's just very, very slow. Okay. Might come out the other side of this with a working Big Pod says that these live streams are starting to change his mind about bash scripts. I'll do a live stream with a bash script that will completely change your mind at some point in the future. So this install is still chugging there. So I think copying the install logs. Oh, yeah. Close that away. There we go. So I just closed the terminal. It closed the initial installer. It's now finishing up Oh, after this, I should get Slick Greeter. Yes, Dan Llewellyn is right on the money. That's exactly what I'm. Come on, little Raspberry Pi. Make your SD card work faster. That is toasty. Yeah, so Big Pod is saying that his opinion of bash scripts are that if you need a few more statements, loop switches and what have you, then an actual programming language is better. So my opinion is that if you're going to write something that is just going to be calling out to a bunch of shell commands anyway, just do it in bash. It handles loops and arrays and switches and all that stuff very nicely. And it's easier than, using, easier. It's just simpler, I think, than using Python to have a whole bunch of, process.call to, what are basically shell command. So Stuart Langridge suspects that shellcheck will get antsy about a particular bash script of mine, and I'm not so sure about that because I ran it through shellcheck and I'm pretty sure it's clean. Or at least it was within a week or so of doing the thing. There we go. So that has completed that OEM first setup, and I now have a user of my very own. And my password is test. So this is logging into a fresh user account for the first time. So that, I think that may have been working in the first place. It was just taking a super long time. So I think that feature works. And there we go. I've now got a new user, and am I able to sudo? Awesome, I am. There we go. And now I've removed the built-in Ubuntu user that was created in pre-install. Log out. Happy about that. Right then, I think I've got a little bit of cleaning up because Stuart spotted I was still on the wrong branch. But if we go back, so what we've got here is maybe what we'll do. just because I think it might be requirement. The right keyboard. We'll do this because that we definitely as I think do. So this function says if OEM config has been requested and we're not using Ubuntu, then do all of these things. And the reason why not Ubuntu is they now use the Calamares installer, and I'm pretty certain they don't have an OEM version, bit of that. And if they do, I don't know how to drive it. So pull requests welcome. So we create that OEM user, which is then used to drive a stub of Ubiquity to do, that initial first setup thing, and then we stand up the necessary systemd units to make sure that on the next boot the OEM first run starts. So I think that is all fine. It's getting quite late, so I think what we'll do is we'll switch back here, and in fact here, see comments. So thank you all very much for joining again. That was a bit of an odd one because we went down the rabbit hole with shellcheck for about 20 minutes or so there, but we've now got the window manager optimized. We've got the initial first run wizard as an option. I think next time round we'll do a little bit of cleanup and probably use these here. So I've got some this is one of these is well, these are all Ubuntu Server pre-installs, but I don't know whether 32-bit or 64-bit. It's a random selection. So we'll put some of the other flavors on those and give those a test. And this one we tested earlier, and that one was Xubuntu. That seemed to work just fine. Obviously Ubuntu MATE is working. So next time round we'll have a go at testing some of the other flavors and make sure that they perform correctly. So with that, I would just like to say thank you all very much for joining me again. I hope that those of you that are interested in this stuff are finding it interesting. But this script is looking quite useful now. And I think the other thing we're ready to start thinking about is you'll keep seeing me SCPing that file around and what have you. It's just a quick way to jam it into the box. But I think this would make a very nice classic snap. So I think we'll make a snap of this. So on a Raspberry Pi that you've put the Ubuntu pre-install server image on, you can just snap install Desktopify and then run Desktopify to convert your system into a desktop. So that's the plans for the future. And any of you are interested in adding features, please get stuck in. Pull requests welcome. I'll review those on upcoming streams. I imagine Dan is going to take another look at the GitHub actions that run shellcheck. But feel free to get stuck in and submit your ideas. And also the documentation is terrible, so I need to get around to writing the documentation, or maybe you would like to write docs for it. And with that, thanks very much. Please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up to add more weight, because I always see the anti-Ubuntu crowd come romping in here to give their thumbs down. So please put the thumbs up to help combat their bullshittery. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for coming.